All right, fashion dolls, and we are back. We are back. We are back. We had some sound issues, and I think it's because I have my fan on. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me push this back just a tad bit so that you guys will be able to hear me. All right. Can you guys hear me now? Because we had some sound issues. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys can hear me, that you guys can see me, the noise. Okay. Let me try something. Because I think, oh my goodness, if I cut the fan off, I'll roast like a lobster. All right, can you guys hear me? When I say we have no air conditioning in this house over here, we have no air conditioning. And I have asthma and allergies. And if I cut it off, I'll pass out. So I know y'all don't want that. All right, can you guys hear me now? Can y'all see me? And I'm trying not to have a wardrobe malfunction over here. I got a lot of, yeah. But can you guys hear me? Perfect. Thank you, Timothy. All right. So without further ado, let's add our very special guest, Clint Elliott, back. All right. Clint is unable to join. Let me try one more time to add. There we are. Can you hear me now?
Crystal clear.
Perfect. There we go. Perfect. All right. So I'm saying, before we got started with this interview, how has your year been for you so far?
Yeah. Patience. Well, great. They between the cop, the and so yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. It was going in and out for a minute. But we are here. All right. So let's dive right into it. Let's dive right into it, Fashion Dolls. And I'm looking at my notes over here that Mick sent me. All right. So let's get right into it. Now, you got your start into acting, and you always knew that you wanted to be an actor as a child. Where did the passion begin for you? At what age?
Well, very young age. I think years of old. I was always in the mood. Probably watching the movie I shouldn't have been at that age. Horror movie stuff. But I've always wanted to be in the industry, but I didn't actually start until recently, until 18 months ago. So I left it for too long. I went into other routes of work, and then I decided a couple of years ago that I've just got to do it. I've just got to give it a go. And I started, I just started to look online and started getting into the industry, and it just picked up from there. So yeah.
Now, we have a mutual friend. We have a mutual friend in common. Your girlfriend is the owner of Original Magazine UK, and she did a whole page spread about you and your acting career.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be written in a publication that is going to be all over the world? I'm in the United States. Yeah. You guys are in the UK. So how does it feel? The copies have already been out. I've seen the publication been out. How does it feel to be in a magazine someone is writing about?
Mickey's a brilliant journalist, and yeah, it is really good to be on magazines. I'm on a few magazine issues now on different publications. Yeah, it just feels really good. And she's a very good writer, and she she did delve deep into my past a little bit, and and into my passions, and yeah, she done very well. Yeah, it did feel good, and it's good to have some actual publications out there to see some of my work and what I'm doing. So yeah, like I say, I'm doing Gangs of Soho at the minute, and the director's actually in LA at the minute trying to get us some custom over there and try to get us into the American industry. He's trying to sell it in America, and we're hoping so, because we're not having so much luck in the UK. We're filming the episodes. We've done an excellent pilot last year, and we put a lot of money into it. The director, Daniel Robson, he put a lot of work into it and spent a year on the pilot. Did sell the pilot, but we're having a few trouble and a few money issues over here to get funding. So he's over in America now to get funding for the project. But we're still filming the episodes. We're still driving forward, and I play an undercover agent, and I'm DCI Frank Lamar, and I try and bring down the underworld of London, but I stay undercover and I'm a bit corrupt. So I don't want to delve in too much, but I'm a bit of a ladies' man in the show, and well, and I'm meant to be playing an undercover agent, so I like to see where this is going to go.
Yeah. All right. Yes, Gangs of Soho. What is it like being on this franchise? Because the show is everywhere. Everyone is watching it. You said your character is a little bit of a ladies' man on the show. Now, you've given people...
is a different show, but Gangs of Soho, we will be on air hopefully in the autumn. But it is a spin-off from Gangs of London. It has got some the same people involved, so it is a spin-off on the show. But yeah, it's a bit more of a dark version of that show.
Now, you've worked on many indie films as an extra and as an actor, and you've done some English feature films like Fight or Flight and Caught in Between. You've done so many films throughout your career. So out of all the films that I just named, the few that I just named, which one holds a very special place to you? Which one is your favorite?
I'd say my favourite would be Caught in Between. Just because of the fact that the director, and I have a lot of fun when working there, and he's mentioned that he might go on to make another movie and dive into my character a bit more. So yeah, so it was a lot of fun working on that, and I do like working. I still work on as a featured extra, and I have a lot of fun doing that as well because I'm get to use guns. I get to drive cars and fast cars and that on set, which I shouldn't be really, because I haven't got a driving license. But on set, we'll get away with them sort of things. But yeah, it's a lot of fun playing with guns.
Now, what? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Boys with their toys, running around with guns and cars, having a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah. I was about to say, what is it like finding that balance from traveling from being in the UK to traveling down here to the USA? What is that like, and how do you find that balance between your acting and everything?
Well, I haven't come over to the US yet, and I'm actually being auditioned for a movie that's actually going to be filmed in Atlanta. So I'm hoping to come this year. It's a film called Origin of Skeletor. And it's from a He-Man. I don't know if you remember the series. I don't know your age, but it was a series in the 80s. It was a boys' series, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. It's just a character from there, Skeletor, which was the dark character, the bad. And it's a movie about him, basically, the origin of him. And I'm going for a part which is the Prince, which actually turns into He-Man. He-Man's a different character. But I'm trying to go for the English Prince role, which I have to practice English, so hopefully I'll get the part, and yeah, I'll be coming to Atlanta if I do next year.
You'll get it. I'm a firm believer in manifestation. I'm pretty sure Mick has told you that. And again, I want to give a shout out to Mickey for making me a part of the team. She chose me to be a part of the fashion column for this magazine. Yeah. She said she wanted, specifically when me and her talked, she said she wanted someone specifically who has an eye for fashion. And she said, you'll be perfect for it. So shout outs to Mick. She's in here somewhere. I see some of the crew from the group is here. So we appreciate you for coming in. You guys can hear me loud and clear. I had to cut the fan off. And I'm not sweating, you guys. I was worried about sweating. But in case you guys missed it, today's dress that I'm wearing is a homage to the Queen of Rock and Roll, Tina Turner. She passed away yesterday at 83 years old, and my condolences goes to her family. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say it again in the show in case you guys missed it. But
God bless
so, yes, manifestation. What does manifestation mean to you? Because you said, hopefully I get this role. How powerful is it to you in your life?
Dreams become real. Making my dreams. And it's weird about Atlanta because I've always had a fascination with Atlanta. I haven't been there. My brother had. But it's very strange. I always thought that I was going to come to Atlanta one day, and I knew it was going to be for something special, and I don't know why I had that thought. I've always had that thought. So it's a bit weird that that's manifest itself and it's come true. So it was meant to be. So hopefully, yeah, I will be going, whatever. If I don't get that part, I should get another part of the movie. So yeah, it's making things happen, really. It's making my dreams come true, and you just got to push it yourself. It's not going to come. You've got to push it yourself and make things happen. But then things can happen, and God in between and intervene. Bit of luck along the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. And you've got Mick and you've got myself and the rest of the group and all of your fans and supporters who are backing you 100% with your career move. And I love vision boards. So whatever I feel that is going to happen in the future, what I do is I go ahead and I put it on my vision board. So it's like I'm looking at my vision board now across the room, and it's like everything that I put on the vision board has now come to fruition. And I'm so thankful that God has put everything out here in the universe for me, and I just decided to go for it. And we kind of covered this in the previous show's interview. And I said, wonderful. Yes, thank you, Mick. I write down my goals.
Yes.
I write down whatever it is that's inspired me. I write down who or what has said what. And I go by a lot of quotes. And I also do a lot of affirmations in the morning when I get up as well, too. So that would be my advice to anybody. Yeah. So for you, because I know Mick said how long is it going to be? I know we're kind of on a crutch for time, so I'm going to make it brief in our interview and convo. Yeah. For you, who or what inspires you to keep going in your career? Because I know there's someone, I know for me it's my mom. My mom is my everything to me. So who inspires you to keep going?
If it's a person that inspires me, it would be my daughter, because I'm obviously bringing her a better life than what I had. I didn't have a good start in life, and she hasn't had the best herself. But hopefully the future will bring much more better things for her, and that's what inspires me, and that's what pushes me is for my daughter. But also, what inspires me is actually myself. I inspire myself. I inspire myself because I do things which I surprise myself that I achieve, and that pushes me on to do even more further good things. And also, it's looking at the bad things in the world and the things what people haven't got, and how lucky what the things I have. You know, watching there's a lot of tragedies going on in the world at the minute. There's a lot. There's things that like the migrant this and things like that, and it just it saddens me, and also it makes me feel so lucky what I've got, and yeah, I want to succeed, and I want to be able to help others as well.
That was actually going to be my next question for you is, how are you balancing, because I know it's a lot going up there in the UK and down here in the United States for us is a whole different story. How do you protect your peace with everything that's going on in the world? Because there's so much negativity. And then she just has a calmness about her. When I talk to her, I could be, going through something. It's either her, my brother K-Tooks, or Island Yankee, and my girlfriend Felicia, my sister. Those are the people who keep me calm in a world of chaos. Everything around me going on. For you, how do you protect your peace with everything that is going on in the world?
Meditation. I meditate.
Yes.
I balance myself. I like to work out, and I meditate, and I have a time of calmness every morning. Eat healthily, and and fitness. That's what balances me.
Yes. For me, I write in my journal, and that's what keeps me grounded. Writing and just talking to people. Like, this is so therapeutic right here, being in this moment and writing. Mick said, whenever you're feeling when it comes to fashion, I write it. I pitched the idea to Nikki first, and I said, "This is what I want to write about." Like the introducing article that she did on me, the feature for the magazine,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
great. And the next feature is going to be even amazing too. Like I pitched it to her, and I said, "This is what I want to write about for the next issue," and it's amazing. It's therapeutic for me. I put my thoughts in there, and I type it, and I send it right to her, and she makes it come. It's just like a dream come true, which is one thing she put in the article about you, which is that you're magical. Where do you find your inner magic from? Where do you get that boost? Because when you're on screen, I noticed for when I've interviewed a lot of actors, when they're on
Yeah.
screen, it just comes out. Some
Mm.
people are introverted. I know for me, I'm sometimes introverted, but for you, where do you find that inner magic from?
I think I find it from my own experiences, my own past experiences, and the bad things that's happened. That's what drives me on, and that's what gives me passion in. And I'm quite an emotional actor on set, and I can push myself. That's why I'm looking for projects where I can actually let go and actually have a lot of free flow in what I do, instead of actually being a working actor, getting paid to doing the job. Um, that's what where my inner magic comes from, is actually bad experiences in my past, and wanting to fight back from that, and wanting to think, no, I'm not gonna allow things to bring me down. I'm not gonna allow my past to bring me down. I'm gonna push on for the future. I'm gonna um, I'm gonna make a difference and make my future a complete contrast from my past. That's
Yes.
where
And we
that's
just not too long ago, it's so funny you mentioned that because we just not too long ago talked about this with our guest Tuesday, Kenya Stewart. We talked about fear and overcoming it and not letting things hold you back. We talked about blaming yourself for your
yeah,
past. And it's so crazy you mentioned that because that's something that I battle with as well too, is beating yourself up for the past.
yeah.
It's like you got to move forward to your future. You can't continue to beat yourself up for your past. You've done it. All you can do is move on to the next part and the next phase of your life and to keep going. And for me, hearing that encouragement from people saying you got to stop beating yourself up, hold yourself accountable, live and learn from it. Don't continue to beat yourself up over it. It happened. You can't change it. I mean, I wish it was a button that you could go and you can literally change things,
I,
but that's not possible.
I
But,
feel
all you can do is learn from it.
I
Go
feel it
ahead. I'm
is.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I feel my past is a blessing. I see it as a
Mm.
blessing because it's made me who I am. It's made me the character I am, and I don't think I would be as good as actor if I didn't have that.
And sometimes you have to use that emotion and tap into that emotion in your scenes. And I know it's just like, whew, doing that is just like, oh my God, it's like a weight has been lifted off. To talk about this experience is to be able to tap into this experience. When you're on set, what's running through your mind when the director says, okay, action? This is what I need you to do. And you have to tap into that emotion.
Well, the good thing is I'm normally really prepared on set, so I know my lines. That's okay, and I've practicing my performance. But there is a panic that goes through the first couple of seconds. I was sweating underneath my shirt, but then once I start, I'm in flow because I can see the reactions on other people's faces. They can see that I know what I'm doing and I'm doing a good job, and I can see that, and that's what keeps me going. And I'm normally one of the most prepared ones on set, and that's coming in with the most professional actors. They come in and they're looking at their lines, and I'm thinking, you know your lines. Yeah, that's the first thing in acting. You should know your lines, but yeah, I got confidence from that. I drive confidence from that.
Absolutely. And that's what a lot of directors and producers are looking for is punctuality. And that's the thing when you're getting into this business is you have to have punctuality because they're going to want you to be on time on set for table reads and things. I know about this because I only had one acting gig. I did some acting and it was a learning experience for me to kind of get behind the look scenes, behind the lens of what's inside an actor or actress's mind as well as the director's and producer's mind. And that kind of opened the door for me just a little bit. So I know you got to be prepared. Punctuality is key.
Yeah, I always drive all the directors mad. I might be just an extra on set and I'll be standing there and I said, where do you want me to stand? What do you want me to say? Do you want me to do it this way and that way? And he's thinking, you've only got a couple of lines. You'll be okay. You know, but I want to do it right. I want it exactly how you picture it, you know. And by doing that, I always get more parts. I'm always getting extra roles. He's always pulling me back, you know, because that's what directors want. They want their vision projected into your mind, and if you can talk to him and get as much information from him as possible, we can make that happen.
Absolutely. And you've mentioned God in the beginning of the interview. So without him, nothing is possible. I'm a firm believer. Every morning I get up, I pray, I talk to God, and I do my morning affirmations. And that's just my reassurance that whatever he has out there in the universe is for all of us. Whatever you put out there, you have your heart's desires on, you go for it and you live through it.
Yeah.
And it's just vicarious. That's what it's about.
Exactly. Just like Tina Turner. Look at the life she had. She went for
resilient.
And she didn't have an easy ride either along the way. But, you know, yeah.
Resilience. Yeah. I still can't get over the passing of her because I reposted it again this morning, some of her fashion looks.
Yeah.
But you've mentioned the journey not being easy for her, but it's all about resilience. Yeah. And that's one thing that she had was resilience. She kept going. Sometimes you're going to have a lot of roadblocks and obstacles for whatever journey that you're going to, but don't let those roadblocks and those obstacles stop you. It's about resilience and that longevity that she had to be able to still perform. And then, you know, when God said, come on home, it's time to come home. He called her home. And yeah, she was so pivotal in the music world. And she will always be held as the queen of rock and roll. So she's empowered me and so many other women just through her music, her lyrical content, and just her attitude, her aura. I remember seeing this woman, clips of this woman perform in the air, literally no harness or nothing. I was like, yes, she's did this before. There's no doubt in my mind. In heels. She was in heels and she was running. And I mean, she was in her prime. She was living. She was wild. She was free. She was full of life.
Whatever happened, she just didn't care. She just went for it. And that's why she had so much reach all around the world. In Asia and everywhere. They love Tina over there. They love her all over the world. Yeah. And
yes. And she will always be the queen of rock and roll. She will always be the queen of rock and roll. And she was supposed to be inducted into the Music Hall of Fame. And yeah, she was supposed to be one of the third to be inducted into the Music Hall of Fame throughout her career. So yeah, I mean, her passing is, people are going to be talking about it for a while because it's still brand new. And I remember I was on the phone with my brother K-Tubes yesterday, and that's how I found out about it. I said, oh my God, her family, her team must have put out an announcement. And then I seen the photo. I said, this can't be real. Oh my God. And then it was everywhere. It was like a frenzy, breaking news. Rock and roll, the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, has passed away at 83. And I was just like, I was in disbelief. And then Alan Yankee texted me and everybody was texting. Phone was off the hook. But it just goes to show you, you give people their flowers and cherish them. She was a gem. She was a gem, and she definitely was cherished by the world. We love her. We love her music. Going to her concert to see her perform. The highlights. I didn't know she walked in the Isadine Alaya fashion show back in, let's say, 1988. Oh. So yeah, it's a clip. It's a clip of that. And I think is Legendary Runway here on the gram posted it, and I reposted it to my stories. I said, well, I didn't know this. This is around the time she did her album Private Dancer. I'm pretty sure, because that came out in 87. 88 was when she did the Isadine Alaya show. So it was amazing watching her walk the runway and then seeing her in the air, no harness or nothing. I'm like, wow, she's so innovative. She is ahead of her time. So gone, but definitely not forgotten.
No, definitely.
At all.
She lived forever. She will live forever. There'll be holograms and
Yes.
whatever. She'll do shows in the future. Yeah.
Oh yes. It's like when we lost Michael Jackson. I'll never forget the day we
Yeah.
lost the King of Pop, Jackson. That it took me for a whirlwind because people were praying. We were saying, you know, we got to have
Remember that.
some sort
Yeah.
of.
I remember that.
We got to have something of him. When
Yeah.
the news report broke and then it came, he passed
yeah.
away. Pop. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think
My,
all
cherish the gems,
yeah.
and pour into people and give people their flowers.
Yeah. Definitely.
Which brings me to the last question for our interview, because I know I can't keep Clint. We are on a time crunch, and I can hear Mick right now like, girl, hurry up with my boyfriend. You had your turn. He's coming home to me. Okay, yeah. All right. Listen, the last question is, Clint, what makes you the happiest?
What makes me the happiest? I don't think I've reached there yet. I don't reach my happiest yet, so I would like to leave that for it to come. But what makes me happiest now? Makes me the happiest now. I didn't and never thought of this question really. What makes me the happiest at this present time? I'm still alive. That's what makes me happy. I've had a lot of near-death experiences, so I'm happy to be alive. That's what makes me the happiest at the minute.
And that's a powerful,
yeah.
That's a powerful testimony in itself, is that you're still here. We, even down here in the U.S., one of my guests, Justin Engel, when I interviewed him back in 2021, he said, give yourself a pat on the back. You survived this pandemic. You survived everything. And that's to everybody who's still alive and still here. And it's unfortunate that so many people couldn't see their family members, couldn't spend time with their family members. But now we have that normalcy where things are just like, okay, it's like a deep breath, a sigh of relief that now we're able to see our family members and our friends and go back in the world, whereas we were shut off from the world. So what makes me the happiest is that I agree too. I second what you just said, which is being alive, being here, still here to encourage and empower people. And I'm going to be doing this for a long time. So I can see myself going on in the future, going on to about 50 and 90 and 80 and so on and so forth. Just encouraging people. So
from now on, I've made that decision and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on progressing, keep on pushing, and I will achieve and I'll be successful. We'll achieve our dreams. We're the only ones that can make it happen.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. All right, fashion dolls. It is time for the final thought of the day. I'm going to leave you guys with some encouraging words. Fashion dolls, okay? The word of the day comes from poet Nikki Giovanni, and it goes like this. Deal with yourself as an individual worthy of respect and make everyone else deal with you the same way. Respect goes a long way. It is a two-way street. In order to get it, you have to give it to people. And I believe in giving people their flowers and treating them with respect and dignity while they're still here so that we can encourage the next person and encourage the next person. So everyone, I have such a big heart. We all have a big heart where we're pouring into people. We're giving to people so much of ourselves. You just make sure that you take care and pour into yourself as well, too. So take time for yourself. Definitely. That's the word of the day, fashion dolls. And that comes from Nikki Giovanni. Clint, let everyone know where they can follow you. You have some projects coming up. I know you can't give away too much. You gave a brief synopsis on one of your projects, but let everyone know where they can follow you and they can check out your work.
They can follow me on Clint Lee Elliott on Instagram, and they can follow me on Clint Elliott, that's ELLIOTT, on Facebook.
All right, fashion dolls. And a very special shout out and thank you to the editor-in-chief, our boss lady, Miss Mickey Solar, who is the editor-in-chief and Clint's girlfriend of Original Magazine UK. The issues are out, so make sure you guys check out the website. Go and check it out. It is amazing. Clint's issue is in there. Mine's is in there, the fashion column part. So make sure you guys definitely go and check it out. It is an amazing publication, and just the diversity of it, and everyone is so different. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Joining me tomorrow, Fashion Dolls, we have Mark Denham. And it is Friday. It's been an amazing, fabulous week. So make sure you guys stay tuned here on Style by Stevie. And Clint, it was a pleasure. Amazing.
Pleasure for me too. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Take care, Fashion Dolls. We will see you tomorrow with Mark Denham. Take care, everyone.
See ya.